Hello and welcome to Destiny Digits. This is going to be the life path number 2 reading. Your life path talks about an opportunity that you have available to you. As a 2, you are a peacemaker, very diplomatic, sensitive, warm, romantic, intuitive, cooperative. You're great friends, great supporters. So the first oracle card we have is Illumination. So there's something that you are becoming aware of, something that Spirit wants you to know, to understand, to see, and possibly apply to your life. In this picture, it looks kind of foggy, and so things may not be clear yet. So just hang on there. Then we have flow. And so I feel like Spirit is saying that as you are going through whatever this awakening is, as this light comes in and kind of, breaks open this veil for you, Spirit is saying to go with the flow, to be easy. And as a 2, you already are super adaptive. And you have no problem, just being supportive and understanding and compassionate. So if this is a situation where you need to offer that to yourself, do that. And if the future is not clear to you, we have the moon here on this go with the flow card. If some things are hidden, if some things aren't understood, Spirit is just saying don't resist, don't attempt to control, really surrender. Then we have taking risks. So whatever it is that you are about to learn, as you are kind of downloading this newness, right, and absorbing it, it's not immediately time to take action. It's just time to soak in as much as you can, understand as much as you can about what comes next, and then there is the risk. And we had an extra card come out. This says trust. And so when we are walking, this go with the flow card keeps popping out to me, but when we are going, it's very dark. When we can't see the way ahead, of course, we're very hesitant about taking the next step because we have no idea where it's going to lead us. And so Spirit is saying to go with the flow, don't resist, surrender, realize that this is where you are supposed to be. Everything you need to know will be revealed to you in divine time. Sometimes that's the tricky part. We don't always get to know and understand things when we feel we're ready. Things happen and come to us in divine timing, right? So in the end, you will be taking a risk, but Spirit says you are going to soar, right? You may not know how prepared you are, but if this is where you are, this is where you are meant to be, and anything you need or you don't yet know will come to you in divine timing. And lastly, we have this card here that says trust, right? And this is a picture of like just this beautiful, it looks like an island. You see sand, palm tree, calm water, fishing boat. When you're on an island, when you're in this type of setting, so beautiful, you can't help to just find peace in your surroundings. And so I feel like Spirit is saying no matter what it looks like, to trust, to find faith, even if it looks like things are falling apart, to trust the process, no matter what it looks like, right? And at the bottom of the deck, we have inner peace. On this card, we have 2 fish. Sometimes fish, I feel like within you, fish swim in all types of directions, and when I think of a school of fish, they are massive and they change direction very quickly. But when we're talking about inner peace, we're talking about just a very tranquil swimming environment. So when you're thinking about your emotional space or just what you feel like on the inside, don't be like a school of fish where like you're back and forth, but don't be like that. Spirit is saying attempt to calm yourself, right? Just be very peaceful. If you're swimming within, if you're thinking, if you're feeling, do everything slow, be fluid. Things are okay. Don't worry. Don't be scattered. Next to Illumination, we have Lord, take charge with authority. So I feel like you are about to understand something that you are called to do, supposed to do. Maybe you are being promoted to a lead position, or you're about to step into just this role in your life that requires much more responsibility and focus than previously. So take charge with authority. Realize that if you are stepping into some type of power role, that could be in your family, that could be at work. I mean, it could be anything. If you have any responsibility over yourself and others or things, that is an authority position. And so as you take charge, as you learn what this role is, as you understand what's expected of you, and you plan on how to fulfill the duties, Spirit is saying, like, go big or go home. Be bold. Realize that you are here because you have the power, the potential, you have the know-how, right? And you will learn everything you need to know along the way, but confidence wins. So be confident in what you possess already. Anything you don't already know will come. When we talk about go with the flow, we have shield maiden, make plans and focus. And so when things are unknown, don't just sit and do nothing. As things are kind of working themselves out, Spirit is saying, make a plan, even if you can't see what comes next. Yes, you're not resisting, you're not trying to control, but really make plans for what you desire. When the dust settles, what do I want to be doing? What does that look like? What does that feel like? What do I focus on first? Once that's completed, what do I focus on next? Really map out what comes next, even though it is unclear. Taking risks, we have air guardian and shift your perception. Now, this is also next to trust. And so I think Spirit is saying that the way, in taking risks, we have a bird, right? So the way a human sees something and the way a bird sees something are totally different, just because we are on land, and if a bird is in flight, they are above. And so when Spirit talks about shifting your perception, the way you are believing something to be isn't quite correct. And so when you're thinking of taking this risk, you are thinking of it from a perspective that needs to adjust. Once you shift your perspective or perception of something, you will fall into that space of trust, and you will realize why this risk is necessary. But if we're not looking at something appropriately, it will shift our response and our behavior. So it's important to see things clearly so that we show up accordingly, right? And so if you are in a position where you're not trusting what it is you're supposed to do next, Spirit is saying tweak how you're looking at it and trust that this is all happening as it should. At the bottom of the deck, we have Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. So whatever is at the end of this, this position, this role where you will lead in some way, whatever is at the end, those rewards are meant for you. They won't go anywhere, right? So really enjoy this journey as you grow and as you step into this newness. Enjoy it, because this is about growth, right? And be peaceful. Be, even if you have no idea what comes next, somehow find peace in the unknown, right? Be surprised. Know that you have the power and the potential to lead with integrity, right? So trust in that. First tarot card out we have is the Tower. So the Tower talks about, something that has shocked us. This could be news. This could be an event. This could be something we were involved in. It doesn't matter. But nonetheless, it's something shocking, something that we may not have planned on taking place. And so after Tower, we have the Magician. So something happens, something collapses. It wasn't, it was faulty in some kind of way. And then we have this energy of manifesting and realizing our potential in, in how we co-create in life. So this Tower and this Magician are in line with this Illumination in this card about authority. And so I feel like if, well, hold on. Let me just say this quickly. This is very specific though. But like if there was a situation where there was a leader or there was somebody leading a company, an organization, something, if there was somebody in control, but then that position ended for some reason and now you're being bumped up to a spot that requires more, anything like that. Um, I feel like Spirit is saying, like, you have the potential to step into this role. This is why it's arriving. You can, you have all the tools to create this into something um, that is truly meant for you. And if you are unsure about what that looks like, or if you're unsure what to do, maybe going into this hermit phase, really going within, silencing the world, because a tower can really rob you of many things. And so sometimes the hermit is healing, it's going into repair, not always to discover or to seek, but nonetheless, it is in this breakup that you are realizing your potential. It is this magician that is taking charge and becoming an authority because they're creating, and you may be forced to respond in the energy of a magician after this tower, right? So yeah, when we talk about illumination, we can get there by way of the hermit, by going within and really seeing what it is we are supposed to do and how we should respond to this tower situation. All right, so beneath this tower, we have the Four of Pentacles. And this is the card of not letting go, of holding on to something, possibly for fear, of not having or of not controlling, right? So we're going to hold on because this is where we have control. We're going to hold on because at least when I'm holding on, I'm sure that I'm possessing it. After the Four of Pentacles, we have the Four of Cups. So there's a trend, 4-4. Four talks about stability. It talks about responsibility. It talks about work, consistent work. So in this Four of Cups card, this is about somebody that is over what took place in these three cups in front of them. Their arms are crossed. They're fed up. Whatever they invested themselves into, especially emotionally, it didn't pan out to be anything fulfilling. And it left them, their cups are empty. So not only did it not give them what they needed, but it took from them and left them with nothing. And so this Ace of Cup coming from Spirit above is almost like, I understand what took place, but are you willing to accept this new option, right? And depending on the energy you're in, you may see this as an opportunity, or you may see this as, no, I'm not dealing with that. So when we're thinking about a tower moment propelling us into this position of authority, we could have been holding on to something that was really unstable, that needed to end, that needed to fall apart. We could have been a part of something. We could have just been, just planning for something to sustain, but now it's fallen apart. What are we going to do? Are we going to wallow, or are we going to respond? Are we going to take this cup and use it to manifest what it is we want and desire? Or are we going to sit there arms crossed and not engage, right? And so we're holding on to something, and that could have just be an energy of fed upness, just the energy of, this didn't turn out the way I wanted it, this kind of thing, but Spirit is saying, go with the flow. This holding on is a form of resisting, not allowing change to come in. This is controlling, right? Even this Four of Cups, this is also a form of control. I don't like the way my life has gone. I don't like the way things unfolded. So I'm not going to play. I'm not going to participate, right? Why? Because I'm able to control my energy, and I decide what I give to and what I don't give to. But, in life, we should accept the good and the bad. It's necessary for some reason. It will never feel good. But when we decide to cross our arms and not play, we're not really leaving the door open for the good to come, right? And so Spirit is saying, it's time to release the idea of what we were a part of, right? Because if it fell, and if it if it no longer exists, then it wasn't really what we imagined it to be anyway, and it needed to go. And so we have a responsibility. Are we going to become this magician and set the intention and really create what it is we desire? Um, or are we going to decide not to engage? And, the magician is about action. The hermit is about going in. I don't know if both of these are required. I don't know if you have to use this hermit energy to discover what powers you have. But nonetheless, the way we respond after this tower matters. And then we have the Eight of Wands. This is about momentum. This is about energy. And so I feel like Spirit is saying, use your energy to support you, not to hinder you. So when we're holding on to something that we believed, when we're holding on to something that we were tied to that no longer exists, or when we're stuck in this place of remorse or just being frustrated, we're not able to progress and move forward. So these Eight of Wands say to go with the flow, but to be firm in what it is you desire, and to make plans, and to use your thoughts, to use your energy, to use your force to create something. Don't just sit and not respond. Sit and plan. Sit and, literally develop a comeback plan. So there is something you should do, but it's more about how you conduct your own energy, right? So it's going with the flow, and then using this this time out to develop, the plan for what comes next. All right. So beneath this Four of Pentacles, which was our energy for holding on, we have the Death card. So this talks about an ending. This talks about a rebirth, right? This talks about something ending because it's time for something new to begin. And we have taking risks. Well, I don't know if we were prepared for this ending, and maybe we weren't, because we have this tower and we possibly were actually holding on to what just ended. So maybe it was something we weren't prepared for, which is why what comes next seems so much like a risk. But whatever this opportunity is that Spirit is giving to you, we have this Two of Pentacles here, and that's the card of instability. Imagine just not being able to see something because you're unstable, you're trying to balance, you're trying to juggle, you're going from one thing to the next. And so I feel like Spirit is saying, this new opportunity is going to take you can finally look up and see. If you're in this Two of Pentacles position, it's hard to look up because you may drop something may fall apart. You're using all of your attention to really keep this thing going, but this new opportunity can break you from this energy of kind of like going around and around and around, but never really solidifying anything. But it was the old that had to end so that this new could come in. And so there's a pentacle being offered. If you do take this Ace of Pentacle, you can use it to manifest whatever it is you desire. Or we can wallow, we cannot respond, and we cannot tap into the power that we have. Now, I did have 2 extra cards come out, and that was the Five of Cups and then the 10 of Wands. Five of Cups talks about regret and loss and just kind of being stuck at what was and not really realizing what still can be, right? We're only going to look at these 3 cups that spilled over. We are in a state of sorrow. We planned on these 3 cups to be this. We miss them. We desire them. We saw this as their future with us or for us, whatever those 3 of cups were that are no longer there. That could be a person, place, or thing. There's still opportunity available to you, and that's behind you. And sometimes when we're changing, we have to lose something. When we're transforming, when we're shifting, when we're beginning one adventure, right? And something else of the old is ending. Sometimes everything can't go with you, right? And so if something ended and it's no longer a part of life or us, that's all right. If we just turn around, we understand that life is going to continue and the possibilities are still going to continue to present themselves to us. We have the 10 of Wands, which talks about another card, not looking up. So head down in the 5 of Cups, head down in the 10 of Wands, head down in the 2 of Pentacles, head down in the 4 of Cups, head down in the Hermit. So when Spirit says to you, To gain a different perspective, one, you have to pick your head up, pick your energy up, pick your mind up, your heart, your beliefs. Really pump yourself up from the inside out. As a two, this is what you do. You do this for others, but in this space, this is something you have to do for yourself, right? And so whatever burdens that you have been carrying as a result of loss, right? These 10 wands talked about investments, things that you've invested your energy in, right? And they may or may not have panned out in the way you wanted, but nonetheless, you are carrying around all of these experiences to the point that you can't see what comes next, where you're going. You're not even really able to plan for what comes next because you're so consumed with the energy of these 10. And so the beautiful thing about the 10 is that you're at the end of this type of energy, carrying around more than you should. You're at the end, and now you can release this load and you can accept this pinnacle and then create what comes next, right? But what's most important is establishing that place of peace. As you create what comes next, you have to do it from a place of peace, not anxiety, not fear, not depression, right? As best you can, find your happy place, rid yourself of what doesn't contribute to this, and trust what comes next, and pick your head up and realize possibilities are endless. They're going to continue. And if something left, if something ended, if something had to be destroyed, it's because it doesn't fit you. You are going to continue to grow, but not everything is guaranteed to grow with you. And so those things that won't grow have to go. And that's a beautiful thing because they can be replaced once they're gone, right? Easier said than done, I know. But Spirit says to please trust, go with the flow, right? All right, twos. Thank you for stopping by. Take care.